Hey, and welcome to another pad video. So we're doing a once over today for a new client of ours. This is a 2012 GMC Yukon XL. It was brought in for an oil change, oil and filter service. Maybe a tire pressure monitor light was on, and also maybe some lights out. But anyway, we're doing a once over because we're going to send this video to our client, show them exactly what's going on with their car. So let's start in the front. Right up here, we notice there's some residual I don't know, liquid or leak of some sort, just very wet. It's not raining outside, so that caught our attention. And we look further up and we see this reddish orange colored liquid. It looks like antifreeze to me. So anyway, we're going to lower the vehicle and we'll show you in the next clip on the video where that leak is coming from, but we'll have to get to the top for that. All right, so let's pan over to this right front wheel. As I noticed when I put a little pressure, you hear that squeaking, and you can actually see and feel the clunk of the wheel moving. All right, so what's causing that? Well, this is a wheel bearing slash hub assembly right here in the center that the wheel fastens to. Those things wear over time. This vehicle has maybe 160 something thousand miles on it, so it's certainly time for it. But that wheel bearing hub assembly is just excessively worn. If you can zoom in a little bit here, there's actually pad material on the brake pad, probably maybe as much as 40 to 50%. But look at the brake rotor. This is certainly one of the worst ones I've seen that's been what we call pad slap, right? So over at some point or another, these brake pads were replaced, but the rotors were reused without being machined or replaced. So, I mean, these things are heavily cratered. I wish you could really get a feel for it, but anyway, certainly need to replace those brake rotors and those brake pads. Highly recommend that very soon. Engine looks good overall, no oil leaks that we have found. Looks very dry. So we're going to pan to the back of the vehicle. These rear brakes, we're about 20% remaining on the rear brake pads. Probably can't see that in the camera angle, but anyway, here's the rotor. We're going to recommend those soon. It's not immediate need right now, but they're not far behind. They're about 15 to 20% pad life remaining. So we'll certainly want to do pads and rotors when that time comes. More importantly, we notice this moisture buildup. You can see it's wet right here, and how, right? So you got this debris. Well, if you look on this side, it's very dry, very clean, right? So what's causing this oily buildup here and this to be damp or wet? Well, there's an axle seal there, so we need to replace the axle seal. It's leaking differential fluid or diff oil. It's leaking diff oil here. It's a slow seep, but it's enough to cause this dampness and this residual buildup there. So the fix for that is remove this rear cover off the diff, drain all the diff fluid out of it. We'll reseal it, put it back up. We'll remove that wheel, remove those brakes on that side, put a new axle seal. At the time, I'm going to suggest that we do the same for the right side because it's just as old. So we're going to put a new axle seal on both sides, put the brakes back on, reseal the cover, and through this access port here, we will refill with new synthetic diff oil. So anyway, let's get this car down and we'll show you from the top side where that leak's coming from. All right, so now we got this Yukon down, and we want to show you just a few more items that we inspect or that we're going to inspect on this vehicle. But first of all, let's show you where that leak was coming from. That was, we're seeing on the bottom. Cool tool segment. This is our new bore scope. We have a touch screen. It's like a 5-inch touch screen here, color with a remote or wireless camera. So I'm looking at the bottom side of the radiator. Let's see if we can. So I've got but you can see right here on the screen that the coolant is about to drip in that spot right here. You can see it right there. That's antifreeze dripping from the radiator. All right, so what we're doing is, you can continue to watch that screen there. This is where the aluminum portion of the radiator meets the plastic tank. Common failure point in radiators. But you can see how wet it is all the way up. All the way up. See how the moisture and how wet? That's antifreeze. And boom, it's dry. Now it's dry. So this is where our leak starts. Here, right here. And it gets worse as it goes down. And then what we saw at the bottom, that's where it eventually drips. So the fix is a new radiator. That's what it's going to take. But anyway, this is our wireless camera that reports to our screen there. So we can use that to find these very inconspicuous areas that we can't see normally. So just to show you, verify, we do have the cooling system under pressure. Right now it's about 10 to 11 PSI. So we pressurize the cooling system to aid in helping us find that leak. All right, engine air filter. This is the one that came out of it. Super nasty. It's going to get a new one. Looks like varmints may have been chewing on that at some point. Anyway, we got a new engine air filter for it. We still have to test the battery. That hasn't happened yet, but we will do that. This is a cool tool segment. This is a brake fluid hydrometer. So it measures the content, moisture content or water content in brake fluid. So what we'll do is we'll turn it on right here. Now you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4% of moisture content. Well, we just submerge just these two prongs into the brake fluid right here into this reservoir, and it'll give us a moisture reading. So anything over 2%, immediate need to replace, right? So it'll be green, yellow, or red. So we'll just dip that down in there. So we got 1%. We come out just to verify. We'll reset it. 1%. All right, so we got a consistent 1% reading. That is okay. But once brake fluid absorbs so much moisture and contains that water within the brake fluid, it has a very tendency to rust internal brake components. So it's always important to maintain that brake fluid and keep it flushed out if need be. But anyway, this one's okay at the moment. We're going to test the battery. We'll get a report back on that to the client and kind of check all the lights. But anyway, we'll do this for any client. If you have a vehicle and you want us to do a once over for you, put it on video, send it to you, we'll do it for you. We have no problem with that. Actually, matter of fact, we actually enjoy it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this pad video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next one.